50 years later, Turkey started from this cell level, and Turkish scientists developed 100% locally a vaccine in full. At the same time, after an impasse of 24 years, our domestically produced vaccine has been fully manufactured, and by today we are one of the 9 countries which are able to develop a COVID vaccine. Today we are at the filling facility, and the last labeling, we're at the labeling and packaging area, the final area. And let me show you the label. At the filling facility, the filling, the labeling and packaging are handled in this area. The manufacturing has begun, as you can probably see on the screen. Distinguished President, so as you have shown us, we have completed the emergency use approval and manufacturing of the TURKOVAC, and this success was possible under your leadership, and this is an achievement of our whole nation. Thank you very much. Today, the first local vaccine of our country, TURKOVAC, is beginning serial production. I would like to congratulate everyone who contributed to the development and manufacturing of the vaccine. On behalf of my country and nation, the coronavirus pandemic has been hitting the world for 2 years now, and the vaccine is the most effective known remedy, and it is very important that a vaccine is now manufactured in our country. In addition, this vaccine has been fully developed by our own researchers and scientists and is a product whose patents belong to us, which makes it more meaningful. After a long research and preparation period, the required approvals have been obtained, and the TURKOVAC vaccine has come to the production and use level. And this vaccine is another symbol of our efforts to protect our citizens against the pandemic. With this vaccine, after the Sinovac and BioNTech vaccines, we are able to offer our locally developed vaccine TURKOVAC as a third option to our citizens. Some of our citizens have been taking all the risks in order to get their vaccines because they have been waiting for our own product. And I invite these citizens to get their appointment as soon as possible in order to have to get their TURKOVAC shots. Unlike some others, we do not have enmity in vaccine and pharmaceuticals. During the pandemic, we have shared the medical equipment that we have with 160 countries of the world, as well as 12 international organizations. And some of the vaccines that we procured from other places are being shared with some friends which have an emergency need for it. And with the TURKOVAC vaccine, we will be happy to share this with the whole humanity. Once again, I congratulate everyone who contributed to the development and the production of our vaccine. I hope that the TURKOVAC vaccine will be auspicious for our country and for the whole humanity. Our citizens, when will our citizens be able to get their TURKOVAC shots in our hospitals? Distinguished President, the Turkish medical institution as well as the public health institution will be making some final checks, and I believe in a week or so such final controls will be finished, and after the next weekend in some of our city hospitals and in many other places the vaccine will be widely available before the end of the year. I believe Professor Ateş is also with you there. What do they have to say about the effectiveness of our vaccine? On my right hand side you see Professor Ateş, and from Erciyes University Professor Aykut, and the president of our TUSEV Institute, and with great contribution to the development of the vaccine, Professor Erhan is right here. And we will first hear from Professor Ateş the answer to your question. Distinguished President, as for the effectiveness of the vaccine, according to our clinical studies conducted in our country, according to our preliminary data, we have one arm with the inactive vaccine and another arm with the Turkish vaccine. And when we compare it to people with complaints and people who are positive, among the 60 COVID positive people, we had 20 on the TURKOVAC arm and 40 on the other arm, which shows us that our vaccine is a bit more effective. And another good news is that among the hospitalized people or people who had to be intubated or had to receive intense care, we didn't have any patients who had to be hospitalized or admitted to an ICU, which was again good news for us according to our initial study. And we have a second study in which we have administered the TURKOVAC vaccine to the previously vaccinated people. And when we made a comparison there, we used our shot as a booster one, and we saw a fourfold increase and we saw a full response in all persons. So after considering all this data by meticulous research of that data by our professors, the vaccine got its approval and now it's usable in the world and in our country. Thank you very much. And our HıfzıSağ project, which played an important role in development of the vaccine, what is the latest situation of the project? As for the HıfzıSağ project, the tender process started 10 days ago. The bids were received. I believe you can see it on the screen currently. Next week, the tender will hopefully be finalized in Ankara, in a location close to the airport, at an indoor area of 50,000 square meters. This project will be completed next year. The tender process has begun. The inactive vaccine, mRNA and nasal vaccines, and the protein vaccine and the adenovirus vaccine, the advanced state-of-the-art technologies of these vaccines will be together in the Vaccine R&D and Manufacturing Center, which will be the biggest in the world. Under your leadership, as you have pointed out, this will be a very strong vaccination R&D and production facility for humanity. Thank you, and we discussed this in detail with you yesterday. The project is a great one. It's an amazing project, and I hope that this project will be completed in the best way possible with the subcontracting company, and so that this great project will serve our whole public. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Professor Aykut is one of the developers of the vaccine. If you allow, he is going to say a few words.
Saygılar sunuyorum Sayın Cumhurbaşkanım.
With my deepest regards, distinguished President, in a year and a half, with the support of the Ministry of Health and TUSEP, at the Erciyes University, we initiated the efforts, and today we have received the emergency use approval for the TURKOVAC vaccine. And in your presence, I would like to thank everyone who contributed to the development of the vaccine. This is a historic moment. Being part of such a team is great, and we received great support from the government, and from the beginning to the emergency use approval, this was a very difficult project which ended in great success. Thank you very much. And let's listen to the third professor as well. Distinguished President, as to say, from the idea to the product, including serial production, we have given our support to all processes, especially during the phase studies. We did the most comprehensive clinical research study of the history of our republic. The private industry, universities, and the public cooperated in the development of the TURKOVAC biotechnology, in the production of biotechnological devices and appliances, and in detection kits. We want to develop the system that we have established and produce products with added value and offer it to the use of our country and the whole world. Thank you very much. May God help us. On behalf of myself and my nation, I extend my gratitude to all of you. Thank you.